What's going on YouTube? This is Chaos-Reighn here, and in this video I am here to show you a little bit about what I'm going to be farming in League and how I'm going to be going about getting pretty much the last bit of exiles I need to potentially get my headhunter, or at least get an amount of currency to buy one. I am unsure if I'm going to aim for a headhunter this league, but I did want to kind of show you guys exactly what I got going on and exactly how I'm going to go about getting what I can for for everything in my build. Now, I will say I do have enough items to probably make up most of the headhunter, but the league at this point is extremely dead on console. There's way fewer people playing and even fewer people actually doing stuff that's insane currency farming, etc., etc. Mostly everyone is doing their own thing and enjoying second or third or fourth, or in some people's cases I have a friend who's on like his ninth build. So for that being said, I'm going to kind of show you what I'm going to be doing at a casual pace, and as such, I'm not going to be going super hard to farm, but I will be mapping and I will be trying to push as far and fast as possible. So first things first, I'm going to show you an update of my build. We are back to the iShot setup. We are using, for our clear, Cold Pin, increased crit damage, Mirage Archer, Inspiration, elemental damage with attacks, and Ice Shot. For our helmet, we are using as an enchant, socketed with Creeping Frost, Sniper's Mark, Bone Chill, Support, Hydrosphere. For our armor, we are using Hero's Ire. It's a decent roll, it needs to be divined a couple more times. And I have Hypothermia, Barrage Support. I actually got this one too, Jin. I was pretty stoked on that. Inspiration Support, added Awakened, added Cold, Ice Shot, and increased crit damage. I got lucky, I got that. This is the, it's just a belt, the Torrent belt, that I end up getting for 8x or 7x or something. It's double corrupted with Pride of Horror effect and increased ES. I got it because it has the T1 increased attack speed. Now, I will remind anyone watching this that this is on console, as you'll see by the tags in this video. For my rings, I am using double taming, and we're using taming because we have some nodes in our tree that help us. Instead of the normal, what I'm normally using, I am using Pandemonious this thing. It's been a while since I used Pandemonious, and using the other amulet, the replica Hero's Truth, was very fun for a while, but it become less relevant when I needed to figure out the penetration situation. Now I am going to be getting penetration on the boots, which will be even better and giving me more against bosses. So that'll basically cover the fact that I don't have Cold Pin in my single target, and that I don't have Cold Pin in my as in Frostbite. I only have one curse. Currently we are using Void Fletcher with Pierce, and the reason we're using that is because we're using one Pierce in our skill to get a decent amount of clear. This also allows us to pierce our Void Sphere or Hydrosphere and hit it, and then hit it once with hitting the enemy with a cone, and then hitting the enemy afterwards with the shot itself. Our gloves are currently Shadows and Dust. We just have a Portal Gem, Flame Dash, Blood Rage, Precision. Our boots, we're still missing a cast on damage shaken setup, but we just, our build's so squishy right now, we're just not worried about it. We'll figure that out later. Maybe we'll just put 4 green. But we have Herald of Ice and Hatred. Our tree is coming along well. First, our Ascendancy, we are using Endless Munition, Far Shot, Tailwind, Gathering Winds, and Focal Point for 25 or 75% increased effective marks. Our pathing is the normal pathing. We chose to go the long way around as per usual. Now, I am deciding whether or not I'm going to be sticking this route relatively shortly, and the reason that is mainly because I might be able to save some points going down this way instead, and figuring out, pathing otherwise to save points instead of all these wasted. But my Crypto Blood Jewel is here, and this also gives me light res, so I don't want to do that just yet. For our setup, we are using double Lion Eye Fall. Now, the first Lion Eye Fall gives you all of these multi-nodes up to here. excuse me, the second line I fall doubles up the multi here. If you can tell, it goes from being 10 multi to 20. I'll take it out and show you. It's at 10 multi, 20 crit chance on 3 nodes. And this is like adding, right here, if we add this, it's like adding 30 crit multi, 60 crit chance, and 12% damage for 1 jewel. That is extremely strong. Now, one thing we can do is if we decide to, we can spec points in this, which would give us insane, not insane attack speed, but more attack speed. We can spec points into this, which would give us even more attack speed and phasing. And we can spec, where is it? It's up here, I think. We can actually spec all the way here for just 30 crit multi for free. Now, I'm actually debating putting that on my amulet, because currently I don't have any anointment on my amulet, and Claws of the Falcon normally isn't very good, but because it is, or good for, Ice Shot obviously, it's good in this specific case because it gives you 30 multi accuracy rating and 25% damage with its ailments. Now what I can do instead is I can anoint more penetration, which would be good for bossing. However, I believe getting 6 pen here versus getting 30 multi is probably the wrong play. We'll have to figure that out. Either way, I need I need 2 orange and gold, and I don't have a gold. Or I need a crimson and a opalescent and a gold here. So then we're, as you see, we're pathing, our normal path. We go up and around and down this way, all the way down, go up and take these nodes, take the pin nodes here. Now for our cluster, we are using a very nice cluster. This is courtesy of a friend of mine who found it on Trade Market for me. It is Blanketed Snow, Storm Rider, Widespread Destruction. So Widespread Destruction gives you increased area of effect and elemental damage. Area of effect for Ice Shot is really good because it allows you to do just a little bit better clear. Storm Rider allows you to get power charge when you shock a chilled enemy. We are always chilling enemies, and then shocking the enemies isn't very hard as well. Because it's a 25% chance, that means when we're barraging down a boss, we're always going to have that chance pretty much pop up. For our first cluster, we are taking a Pressure Point Skullbreaker cluster. Now, I might end up dropping the Skullbreaker eventually, the 15 multi, to actually take this node instead, but I might just keep it. This is a 5% more multiplier and more blind. It's not necessary because there's we're already blinding with Pandemonious, but the more multiplier is nice. However, my ideal cluster is actually taking the Wish for Death, which is Cole, and the hindered one. Now when I do that, I'll have hinder and chill in my kit already, and then I have my first jewel here, which is a dodge, lightning damage, attack speed, life. This jewel is going to be rotated out for sure. I'm going to be putting a split personality with intelligence in it, and when I do that, I will actually be able to take this jewel out. I will be able to unspec these 2 nodes here. I think I still need strength though, which I can get elsewhere. These 3 nodes here, which would save me there. These 2 nodes here, so that would be 5 nodes saved. And with those 5 nodes, I can either take more attack speed here, I can take from the shadows here, I can take a couple of nodes here if I want to, like Fork or Chain. I can take attack speed, accuracy, I can take cold damage, I can take penetration here, and any of those. Now, one thing I can't take because I'll be unspecking these 2 here is this, and that's because it'll basically cost me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, unfortunately, to even get it. Well, that's that. That's the build. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what we're dealing with and what our mapping and everything feels like. Now, I will say that I am currently using GMP, and actually I am not using GMP. I guess I forgot that I took out GMP from the setup. I'm only using Mirage Archer. But I will be using GMP once I get my damage just a little bit better. I think I just drop out of the two probably this one because I won't. This is a less more, and I have a lot of crit already in my build, so I can probably drop this one and then put in either GMP or Chain. Most likely Chain because Chain is really good with high shot. Eventually, I do want to drop the Pierce altogether, but it's a bit of a pricey change, so for now I'm not worried about it. We're just kind of taking it in stride and dealing with what we can deal with as we go along. We still need to divine our helmet, obviously, so we're far off from being complete. And as for our balance, we are currently sitting on a little bit of X, 33 right now, and 1 Maven Orb. And on top of that, we have a bunch of things we're going to sell. I have my project for my next videos and farming method. I have this video's farming method and project start point, and I have couple of quad tabs full of some things that are nice, some things that are so-so. They're all priced relatively cheap, so I could just get them gone. But, you know, like I said, League on console is pretty dead. Even stuff that's relatively hard to find, or stuff that would sell normally in normal leagues isn't really moving just because of how dead this league is. So let's see. Is there anything that matters in this one? We're just going to put this. Alright. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to our first method of making currency. Our first method is basically showing you a little bit more about the temple and how I go about farming it in leagues. So we have 19 missions, which means I can run all of my maps with my Alva temples and be good to go, along with, you know, anything extra I do. And then once I'm out of the Alva missions, I can move on to my next missions, which is something I really like to do. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and put it in and then show you exactly what we're dealing with our build. Now, as I said, we're using Flame Dash, but Flame Dash isn't really used all that much. I am normally playing with an Aura bot to do logbooks, and that's what my main thing is right now, is doing a whole bunch of logbooks, so I've been just kind of sandbagging and sitting on the sidelines in that aspect for making content. It's because I don't really do too much in the logbooks, and you know, but I will be making a video on how to thoroughly do logbooks. Even though it's a little bit late in the league, I will be showing you my methods and everything like that, just so anyone who does like to enjoy my channel can kind of get a grasp on how to make your own currency and enjoy the league in any way, shape, or form.
My mana is gone.
So, oh boy, okay. Alright, you gotta be a little careful. So we are running Jungle Valley, okay. Looks like we already encountered Redeemer. So we have, okay, a chest full of gems, explosives. We are going to go for explosives. So, now there are a couple of notables to note about Glenic Cairns that are really good for Alva. It is literally the best area to run Alva. However, Glenic Cairns is also good for farming for raw currency. I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of map juicing this league because map juicing is very, very tedious, and going back and picking up all the loot ends up being just so much of a hassle that you just end up, you know, just boring yourself out of the league sooner than later. So as such, I will be doing alternative methods to making currency. If there is enough demand or enough of the people who do watch my content request it, I will gladly post these methods on how to make currency. This includes in standard. I know there are a lot of people that watch my stuff that do play standard, so if you want to know anything like that, I will let you know exactly how you can go about making a ton of currency with minimal to low investment to you, and with just the utmost ease for the most part. Alright, let's see. So the notables you need to really worry about is the main one, which says you have 50% chance when killing your enemy to upgrade it to 2 levels instead of 1. And then the other one, which is my favorite one, which says when you change rooms, you... Okay, hatchery. when you change rooms, you are more like, or you keep the level of the one that you changed from. Anywhere you run the temple other than the Glennick Cairns, the level resets to 1. So if you were a tier 2 Alva room or any room like corruption chamber, whatever, and you change to a gem chamber, you would go down to a tier 1 gem chamber. If in this area, instead, you would go from tier 2 to tier 3 gem chamber, and keeping the levels that you're missing, so you don't have to worry about leveling it all the way back up. This has been a big problem in the past for me when I'm just doing some casual mapping. Thankfully, most content is still a breeze. We don't have any issues with really anything. I'm able to do a lot of content by myself. Cyrus is still buggy for me. I'm having problems with him, and I will go over the problems, because that's one thing I'm going to be doing with this upcoming series, is submitting videos and hoping that they get traction enough that GGG goes out and sees and pays attention to the console players and the console player base. There's a lot more people that I know that are having issues with the game rather than being able to enjoy the game, and honestly it's a shame, because I feel like this league is really fun. At the very least, the league mechanic is very intuitive and extremely enjoyable to play in comparison to certain other league mechanics, which I'm not going to mention. Ritual 2 coming to mind. However, this is, this whole tedium of having to do this every single map does get a little bit old, I will say that. So if you're not into watching me sit here every single map and kill all these in my videos, then you're free to skip past this. In my opinion, I do enjoy it though, so I'm just gonna keep enjoying it. Alright, so criticals, or they have resistances. We're just gonna go with resistances, because criticals just makes some of the bosses annoying. I can do it, but I'd rather not be annoyed in something I'm trying to farm up for currency. Alright, that boss is dead. I need to hurry up. Am I gonna make it? Uh-oh. Got it. Alright. Alright, so now I'm gonna go over a couple of the rooms that you look for. So the first biggest room you can look for is the Corruption Chamber. Biggest room as far as to sell the temples yourself. However, it is not the best room. The best room, in my opinion, is the one that drops the Coward's Legacy, or the Coward's Chains. And even better, it's better if you run your temples just so you can run to the end and potentially drop the Vial. Because the Vial, if you get the upgraded belt in League right now on console, the belt upgraded is 15 exalts. Now, this is, in my opinion, really ridiculous, a unrealistic price for this item, but because this league is so dead and there is such a limited supply of them and there's more and more people just not playing the league anymore, it is not very surprising that something like this. So this is my damage versus a boss that's being healed by Maven. It's pretty solid. I'm not really having any issues with my killing bosses. Now, my affinities are not working right now. As you can tell, I have affinities on my tabs right here, and this is another kind of PSA thing to kind of show GGG, hey, please fix your game. GGG, don't ignore console, please. So I actually had this name to like GGG doesn't care about console players, and it kept the name. Then when I logged out and logged in, it changed it back. So they didn't. I don't know if they didn't like it or if it was some kind of algorithm thing, but yeah. So now we're gonna go ahead and do our second temple, and kind of see. It looks like our Redeemer is an 8-map spawn, which is fine. We're not really caring about Redeemer necessarily. When we get to her, we'll get to her. Anyway, I've been, sorry I've been, gone for a while. I've been really busy with life. There's a lot that's been going on with me and just my family and everything like that. So getting the time to break away is a hassle in itself, and I'm just glad I'm able to enjoy the game a little more and share with you my farming and everything like that. So let's see. Owl? Hey. Please go away. Alright, whatever. I'll just do this top one. Alright, looks like our temple is finished. Now I will be making a lot more videos in the next few days just to cover everything that I'm going to be doing to make as much currency as possible, along with giving you guys an update from day to day and video to video on how much currency I made between videos and between days. Since my goal is to make as much currency as possible, I will be actively trying to make currency and show you other methods other than just doing the good old grind. Now, normally what I like doing is I like picking a certain item or two, buying it a little bit, maybe either gambling with it or trying to, get as much as I can. We actually have logbook, so we're gonna come over here to start here. Alright. I do apologize about me clearing my throat and everything like that. As I've said before, I have asthma, and it's just been a little bit hard for me to find my breath normally, so just bear with it. I do apologize, but it is just what it is. I am taking medicine for it, and it is helping. Alright, let's see. That's good. So, aside from the monotone commentary, I do appreciate my fans and the people. I guess fans is the wrong word, but my followers for tuning in for my content. And as such, I would like to kind of ask if anyone has any specific requests. Please feel free to just like submit them. I guess just either if you know me on PlayStation or if you have any kind of question, you can always send me a message on PlayStation with that question in mind, and as long as I can answer it, I will. I will also take guide requests, such as build guide requests for anything I've played or anything that I can maybe afford to build and play. There are a couple of things this league that are busted. I have already made my league start as Forbidden Right Totem, and in my opinion, it was one of the more busted builds you can play, but as is anything busted, it will be hard nerfed to a point to where it's going to be unplayable next league, or at the very least, overly tuned down to a point to where it performs on a decent level, but not a level that is right now. So we'll see what time tells. Alright, so we have Corruption Chamber finally available, Spinner Research Lab, or what is that, Pulls Restoration. We're just going to get the Spinner Research Lab because the Spinner's Research Lab gives us breaches, and those are very good for getting you, just kind of easy value. So as you see, we do not have chain. We don't have any chain, and that kind of can become a problem real quick, especially when you're trying to clear a pack. I only have one pierce, so that one pierce doesn't do a whole lot for me. Alright, so that's it for the temple for this map. Now we just go kill the boss. And then I will end this video here and show you guys where I'm at in the next. And then I will, after I get a bunch of temples saved up, I will show you another method of making currency using the temples or running them yourself. But for now, I'm just going to show you how I farm the temples and what to look out for. Alright. That was relatively easy, though I got hit a couple of times by that boss. I'm just lucky I'm able to tank it, because I don't have very much life and it does chaos damage, so. Alright, without further ado, this is the end of this video. I do appreciate you guys joining me here today, and as always, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and click that little bell icon that will notify you when I post more videos. Now, if you guys have any questions, again, please feel free to leave a comment in my videos, or if you know me on PlayStation Network, I will be glad to respond to you as soon as I can. I am also open to making build guides and or farming guides. If there is any specific farming or specific thing you need, I can teach you how to target farm it. There are several ways to do any of this, and all of them are relatively inexpensive and can net you a huge chunk of profit doing it all by yourself. So you don't have to worry about doing any kind of group play or anything like that. So there's if there's anything you guys need, don't be afraid to ask. Have a good one, and as always, take it easy, everybody.